Whitlow.
Brandon Spivey.
Brandon, who are we?
We are the Markout Movie Podcast, Aaron, and ladies and gentlemen that are tuning in live.
We are. And in today's episode, we are doing a review for the Adam Sandler new movie that is out on Netflix. Been out for several weeks now, I believe. Hubie Halloween. And we're gonna get into it. First, I want to ask Brandon.
Yes, sir.
Where could I get me one of those nifty mugs?
I don't think you can, but I would love to have one myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a ridiculous. That was the most ridiculous part about the movie. It really was. I didn't mind it though, but I was like, "What can this thing not do?"
Right. I mean, with a mug like that, like who needs a Swiss Army knife? It's funny.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna talk about one thing about it here in just a little bit. First, let's get into the synopsis. It's just coming from IMDb. The movie is Hubie Halloween. Came out 2020. It is PG-13. Now we're in 42 minutes. And despite his devotion to his hometown of Salem and its Halloween celebration, Hubie Dubois, is it Dubois? DeBose? I don't know.
I think it's right. Yeah.
Is a figure of mockery for kids and adults alike. But this year, something is going bump in the night, and it's up to Hubie to save Halloween. It stars Adam Sandler as Hubie. It stars Kevin James as Sergeant Steve Downey, Julie Bowen as Violet Valentine, Ray Liotta as Mr. Landolfa, and Steve Buscemi as Walter Lambert, and a host of other people, Tim Meadows, and also Adam Sandler's children are in this movie. Yeah. Brandon, go ahead and hit them with them numbers.
The numbers, they won't be pretty. I can guarantee you that. It got a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Metacritic gives it a 53%. That sounds about right from them. 82% like it on Google. So that's probably your positive number you're going to get. I mean, I would assume.
It's the most positive number.
I think that would be the most positive, and I would be correct. 47% on the tomato meter, so Rotten Tomatoes thinks this movie is rotten. And the audience score is 49%. So it's almost halfway, but it is what it is. You expect nothing less from an Adam Sandler comedy these days, though, for it to either be low or a mixed reaction, right?
Yeah, it's not gonna be like early Adam. You're gonna get more positive scores. You like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer. Even I liked Little Nicky. I'm probably one of the few folks. I'm probably one of the few folks that actually like Little Nicky. And I even liked Punch Drunk Love. I thought that was that was interesting. But yeah.
Okay, let's fast forward all these years. Say those movies came out today. You think they would have a positive reaction?
Like his
Billy
stuff
Madison.
that he. Oh yeah. No, I think that they were good for their time.
Yeah.
I think because we watched them at that time frame in our life, we enjoy them, right? But I think that they are good. They're good for their time, as far as like it would not be as well received today. Like Happy Gilmore wouldn't be as well received today as it would have been. It was then, and I like. That's probably my favorite one of his is actually Happy Gilmore and Wedding Singer. I have to say Happy Gilmore, The Wedding Singer, and Big Daddy. I really enjoyed Big Daddy. Yeah. I liked Waterboy. Just like I liked his earlier stuff.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you with Big Daddy. That's in my top 3. I think I think though Billy Madison's in my top three, and I don't know. It's Happy Gilmore's up there. The Waterboy's up there. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the other one would be. I have to think about it, but I do agree with you. I don't think they would be well received today. But I still, I still love Tommy Boy. I still enjoy Black Sheep for, even though I know it was a
Tommy
product
Boy
of its
is
time.
yeah.
For
Tommy Boy
fun.
is okay.
No,
I was
I'm
like,
just saying, product of its time and the
right.
'90s. Ace Ventura. I'm just
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to Tommy.
I was
It's a
about to say that.
legend.
I was about to say that with Ace Ventura. Ace
Yeah.
Ventura is a product of its time, but it still holds up for me.
Yeah.
Just yeah, I agree with you.
But I
But
haven't
yeah,
seen Adam's earlier work in quite some time. The last one I saw was probably Airheads, and he had he was a smaller character. Brendan Fraser was the guy.
yeah.
Steve Buscemi had a bigger role than Sandler, so that tells you
Oh man,
where they were.
I hadn't seen that movie in so long.
But that's
Uh,
probably the latest I've seen. Going back, haven't checked them out in a long time, but
yeah. But anyway, we're here. Adam had Oscar snubbed performance. I hadn't seen it still in Uncut Gems. Uh, that many people I know raved about, including yourself. And and he said something, Brandon.
he
And do
did say
you think
something.
that this is him doing it? Because I personally don't feel that way about this film. But go ahead.
No, I don't think it's. I know what he said. He said he was going to make the worst film ever made. I don't think this is it. I don't think he desired. I don't know. I don't think he. I think he was joking. I don't think he goes out of his way to make a bad film. I
Mhm.
mean, it's hard to make a good film too, but I don't think anyone goes out of their way, even if they are getting snubbed by the Oscars.
I feel with Hubie Halloween. He is. This is Adam returning to his man child type of character.
Yeah,
That that's his bread and butter, or it was his bread and butter. You know, with Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore. Uh, I think I even throw Big Daddy in there. He was a man child. Uh, so I think that that's his bread and butter. Those type of characters, and I think that this film even the arcade movie they made. What is it
Pixels.
called? Pixels. Yeah, he was like a man child still, but which I didn't hate that, but but anyway, I think that that is his bread and butter, and I think that this film is him returning back to that type of character, and we start out with Hubie, and we see that he gets constantly berated by, as it synopsis says, children and adults alike. I felt
Yeah,
most part of it. I felt it was very mean natured. When it comes to Hubie, I felt bad for Hubie.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I just didn't like the constant bullying. That's not a good message. And at the end, they kind of turned that around and everything, but still, um, I don't know. It's just one of those movies that I got a lot of earnest, scared, stupid vibes. What did
yeah. I
you
did
think?
too. Yeah, I agree with you. It was it was about bullying, and it's not a positive message, but it is in a way because of the ending. My only negative about this though is the casting of the mom. I really feel they should have tried to went for Kathy Bates because I felt like
Oh yeah.
I didn't feel he was Bobby Boucher, but he was somewhere in the middle of that character. And I was just
Mhm.
like, he had a mom. He was always bullied. I was like, Kathy Bates would have been perfect for this role. And I'm not saying the actress that played his mom wasn't good. It's just I know Kathy would have brought a little extra, and I think it was a missed opportunity there because he worked. I mean, he got a lot of people he worked with, like the main girl, the love interest. It's a reuniting them from Happy Gilmore,
I
and
didn't realize there's a Happy Gilmore together.
yeah, yeah, he
See,
brought,
when I think about her, I immediately think of Modern Family now, and I
yeah,
can't see her. And I think I forgot that she's been in anything else. Of course, she's been in every other things, but I don't. Who was she in? Who was she in that?
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
The
the love interest.
yeah, I forget what our actual job title was.
She worked at
But
the. She worked at the
worked at the
golf place.
PGA. Yeah, PGA. She worked on the
Oh, that's
PGA tour.
her.
Yeah,
I, di- I honestly didn't realize that.
yeah,
Oh my gosh! Like that shows you how long it's been since I've seen that film. So that's cool. I was expecting, even though I knew that she was in this, but I was expecting him to, maybe he couldn't get a Drew Barrymore again because I liked the way that they work off one another.
yeah,
I think that Drew Barrymore makes more sense as the lady that would be like enamored, like believably enamored with Hubie. I, I
yeah.
think that I think that this lady, this actress, I don't remember her name. I guess her name is Julie Bowen. Yeah. So I think that uh, Julie's portrayal of Violet Valentine, I think that it came off for me like not really believable because like I don't believe that such a woman like that would be heads over heels for
Yeah,
Hubie.
it is hard to imagine. But stranger things happen. But it is hard to imagine that a woman like that. But then she was married to Kevin James' character, so I didn't see that either. I didn't. He came off so
Douchey.
sleazy and
Yeah,
douchey. He just I hated the wig. Just I
I
hated
hated
it.
the way I hated his character. Like he, I think that there was a waste of a character for him in this film. I thought he's too much of a caricature, and not so much a real person in this film. I wish that I probably wish they would have went with one of Adam's other buddies that he that wasn't in the movie to do with the eye or the other guy that's usually his like best friend or whatever. I wish
Yeah,
they would have went with someone other than Kevin, or if they just went with Kevin, I wish that they would have made him a different character than that. Because yeah, I agree with you. He did come off very sleazy. Like I said, everybody felt very like mean, just mean
yeah.
towards Huey.
But
Um,
before we get into too much of it, we gotta mention Ben Stiller. You just got to. I mean,
hmm,
he was
all right,
now.
yeah,
Now he is actually playing Hal from Happy Gilmore.
yeah,
But
I got that.
me and you believe he's also playing the character from Dodgeball and Heavyweights.
I believe that. I
It's the
believe
very,
that after
but
uh, after he got taken down by the gym with
yeah,
the in dodgeball, he went back to his role as an orderly and just happened to land in Salem, uh, Massachusetts. Is that where Salem is?
yeah,
Oregon? I have no idea. I don't
Massachusetts,
know. I don't know countries, or I don't know states.
states, Aaron, states.
I don't know
But yeah,
states.
when he
Salem,
popped
witch
up,
trial.
in the beginning, I marked out. I was like, yes, but that was it. It was just a cameo, and I was disappointed by that. But
Mm-hmm.
I I'm not a big Ben Stiller fan, but I love him as his character. I want to see more of this guy. This guy deserves his own movie. Whether he's connected to heavyweights or dodgeball or not, I would love to see how more.
Oh, he's
But
connected.
I think it's connected too. But it's not legit yet.
But
He's not came out and said, "Oh yeah, these four characters are the one and the same." But
right,
I loved him
it was
in
it
this.
was great to see him. It was great to like. It's a great way of starting. I would say this. I like the beginning of the movie, like the Halloween
Yeah,
logo for in this movie actually successfully put me in the mood for Halloween. So it accomplished that. In watching, I'm like, yeah, I'm now in the mood to watch Halloween movies now. Like so before that, I wasn't really in the mood, and I watched it today. That's what happened. I watched it today. I wasn't gonna watch it yesterday, but I watched it today, and uh, hopefully nobody. I'll watch it sometime. Just say I watch sometime. because people might be listening. But anyway, um,
And watching, man, and watching.
but yeah, watch. I forgot we are live. We're live. We're live. No. Anyway, but so I enjoyed I enjoyed this film though, as far as I enjoyed some things in it, and I didn't enjoy other things in it, and that's where I landed. Like I enjoyed Hubie's character. I thought it was okay. It's funny that he gets scared out of some things. You know, he's easily frightened. But then I thought it was over the top at times. I'm like, come on, guy. You know. And then I thought that the it was cute at first with the mother wearing the weird, all the sleazy shirts. But after a while, it just got dumb. You know, and the boner thing, it was like, yeah, it was funny the first couple of times. I'm like, it's funny, good callback. But then like it just kept on. But let's talk about one thing real quick.
Okay.
Will from Stranger Things. Will Biden. Will what is his character in Stranger Things? The kid that is the oldest son of Violet. He is the kid from Stranger Things, the one that got disappeared and went into the
Will.
yeah. As Will By I haven't seen Strange Things so long now. Will Byler Biden something Will something anyway. You're looking it up, aren't you?
I am because I did not notice him in the movie. I honestly
Uh,
didn't. Is he in the movie?
yeah, yeah, he is in the movie totally. He's the kid that had a crush on the person that was working at the coffee shop, and he dressed like the Tin Man
Oh,
in the
oh
movie.
my
That's
God, you're
Will.
right.
Yeah,
Noah. Oh,
Noah.
it has been a
Yeah,
long time since we've seen Stranger Things because he's all grown up now.
he's a big kid now. Like he's
I
like,
don't
and
know
then
how they're
like,
going to explain that. How do they
yeah,
explain it? It's got to be a time jump. Got to be.
they got, they got to
Now
do a
I'm
time
like,
trip.
yeah, I didn't put that together. That was him. 'Cause- And I think
I
of Will.
recognize his face.
I think a small Will. Now he's tall Will. You know,
He was like one of the smallest ones out of all the Stranger Things kids,
yeah,
and now he's just like the kid, just like the other kid in Stranger Things. He's just blown up, man. He's just like you
yeah,
seen him in the Turning, I guess.
yeah,
Um, that kid is grown up now, but yeah, they gotta jump to the '90s or something. I don't know. There's no way you can
yeah.
keep it in '84 or something. But anyway, but yeah, he's in this movie along with, as we mentioned before, Adam Sandler's kids are in this movie. It was cool to I noticed that they looked a lot like Adam, and I was like, they must be his kids. And so it looks a lot like Adam and his wife. His wife is in this movie as well. She's a reporter. She's in every movie that he's in, essentially. But she's the reporter, and yeah, they look a mixture of Adam and her. So I was like, that has to be related. They must be related to this guy, and they are. And so I thought it was cool to see his kids showing up in a movie with their father. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like a family reunion anytime he does anything these days, comedy wise. It's like, and I respect him for doing that, keeping his friends, getting work. You know,
Employed, yeah,
yeah, I respect that because most people in his position wouldn't do that. They wouldn't care, and he does. I mean, he tries to work as many people as possible. You know, from back in the SNL days to even Kevin James, getting him roles that he has no business having, but he still does. 'Cause, I mean, I'm not a big Kevin James fan.
no, me neither. I wish that cop character would have totally went somewhere else. Like I love the fact that he does that. Like you mentioned, I love the fact that Adam will employ his friends and keep them coming back. I love seeing Rob Schneider again in this film.
Yeah,
I love seeing him. I always love seeing Steve Buscemi. I'm a fan of his, and I like seeing even like he got people like Tim Meadows to return, Michael Chiklis
yeah,
to show up. George
Shaquille
Wallace,
O'Neal.
he returned from
Yeah,
George Wallace returned from Little Nicky. So
Yeah,
he played like the
I loved his
mayor.
character because it was a parody of the mayor from Jaws. So I love that. I
That's
mean,
what I was going to ask you. Was that a parody? Because wasn't the suit he was wearing kind of
same
spot
suit.
on?
I mean, well, it wasn't the same suit, but it's spot on, like a replica of this of that suit from of Jaws. But I love that he knew there was danger, and he was still going to have, you know, the what was it?
Like some type of Halloween festival.
Yeah, I forget what they actually called it, but yeah, he knew the danger, and he was still going to have it, like Larry Vaughn in Jaws.
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping he was going to die if people were dying. Like I didn't expect them to be dying, but if they were going to be dying, I was hoping the mayor was going to get it because he never
Yeah.
got
No
it.
one. Yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
like sweet revenge.
Spoilers, guys. We are going to spoil this movie if we hadn't already with the introduction of Ben Stiller in this movie, which is it's not too much. I mean, it's just at the very beginning. It's just a nice little Easter egg for us to let
Yeah,
us know that it's connected to Happy Gilmore. So yeah, it's all. I think it's all connected. Plus, the O'Doyles are in this movie. They have now relocated to this part of the country, so they're there. Because that one kid is a he's. They actually said O'Doyle rule. I heard him say O'Doyle rule. Um,
yeah, it was a good throwback to all his '90s films. I mean, he I love that he does that. He connects little dots, and it's for the fans.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's fan service,
but
but we're
it's
okay
fan
with
service. Yeah,
fan service.
yeah. I mean, yeah, we are. I mean, that's who he makes the movies for. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand anyone that's not okay with fan service. To a point. I mean, you don't want to
Overly
give too much to the
right.
fans
Mm-hmm.
where you don't do your own movie, your own vision that you see it as. But throw a little bone here and there to the fans. I'm okay with that.
I want to I want to ask you about I want to ask you about Michael Chiklis and also Ray Liotta. These are two guys that are typically known for playing like really tough guys. Like the first time we kind of seen a comedic side to Ray Liotta was oh Wild Hogs, was it?
Yeah,
The first time he wasn't even comedic. He was still playing pretty serious, but it was a comedy role and stuff. And Ray Liotta is a guy that puts fear in me. I
I
don't know,
love him.
just
I
something
love
about the way
him.
he looks. He looks like a guy that you really don't want to cross. But he also looks like he'd be a sweet guy to meet in real life. And then Michael Chiklis, of course, he's known for playing you know, tough
Vic
guys.
Mackey.
Yeah. He's
Mhm.
also he will forever be he'll forever be the thing from the Fantastic Four. I don't care what he does in life. He's gonna always be that guy.
That
But yeah, he's gonna always be that character. Like when I think of that character, I immediately think Michael Chiklis.
yeah.
It is
I
what
mean,
it
you
is.
have to. I mean, you have to. I mean, uh, my, but I don't know. He could move on to something else eventually, like Captain America did. But
But did he really? I guess he did. With Knives Out,
yeah,
he
I mean,
moved
do
into a
you look at
different
him
type
as
of role.
I mean, you got to look at him as Captain America now, not from Fantastic Four now.
He's gonna always be. Oh yeah,
The
yeah.
Human
See,
Torch.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I see what you did there.
Maybe
You're right.
Michael
He's not
will.
human. I forget that he's the Human Torch.
See,
But
you got Captain America, you forget all about the Human Torch.
yeah. Well, he's a much better Captain America than he was ever a Human Torch.
Yeah,
Um, but I don't think there has been a good Human Torch. Michael B. Jordan, I'm looking at you. Still don't think you was a good Human Torch. But anyway, um,
I haven't
but
seen it.
you have seen Fantastic Four. Anyway, that's what it's called,
No.
something like that. Anyway, but what do you think about these guys in this film? Like he was able to pull out some heavy. I consider Ray Liotta a heavyweight um, in this film, and Michael Chiklis as well. And he got some other people that shows up. Maya Rudolph is in it. So how do you feel about some of these people that showed up in this movie?
Well, I'll start with Maida Rudolph. I expected her because she's been kind of. I want to say she started work with him when Grown Ups. She's been kind of coming in and out here and there. So it was good to see her. Glad she did it. I'm glad she allowed Tim Meadows to have his moments too, because she could steal scenes and she does steal scenes when they're together. But she also let him have his moment. So it was good to see her. But as far as the main two you asked about, Michael Chiklis, I was impressed. I don't think I've ever seen him do comedy before. I think he was. I think he did a prior Adam Sandler film, but I don't recall it.
I can't even think of what movie he was in with Adam.
But I'm not sure what it was. But I was impressed by him. I mean, he didn't get too many lines, or he wasn't in the movie a whole lot. But I was impressed when he was in it. He made me chuckle a little bit here and there. Now Ray Liotta.
Ray freaking Liotta, man.
Oh, I've always loved him. A very serious, intense actor. When he pushes Adam Sandler, because it's a funeral of his own dad, he pushes him in the hole. Lord, forgive me for this, but I bursted out laughing. I couldn't help it. It wasn't the push itself; it was the laugh after. Seeing Ray Liotta just laugh like that, it brought a smile to my face. It made me laugh. It was like
you might need psychological help, my man. But yeah, that's crazy. That part, like, it was funny in the sense of, like, I thought like his mom was gonna laugh too, but his mother was like, "Oh, it's so disrespectful. What are you doing?" You know, it's like, "Ma, it's funny. It's God." And then, like, he sits down there, he has the soup, and then the dude starts trying to close the hole, and he said the dad speak and falls. Now I want to talk about Steve Buscemi. I absolutely love Steve. I thought that every scene that he's in, he steals. He shows up as a creepy, almost at first like a Mr. Rogers vibe, like a creepy dude that just moved in next door, but he's overly friendly. And he's like, "Oh, if you hear anything, don't be alarmed. If you're hearing weird noises, don't be alarmed." I'm thinking, I was thinking, "Oh, is he a serial killer?" That was my first thought. And I just and then, like, when he's boarding his house up, he said he aired a draft, felt a draft a little like that. It was just so funny. Steve steals it, and then the reveal that Rob Schneider was in this movie steals it, and Rob was only in it maybe two or three scenes. Every time he shows up and actually is, especially when he's interacting with Steve, it's so funny. Like, Rob Schneider is a guy that I absolutely love. I'm a huge Rob fan, and it is what it is. I'm not afraid to say it. I'm a fan of Rob Schneider.
Well, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Enjoy who you like. That's what I say. I like Rob. He's never gotten the respect he deserves. I mean, he's never. I don't think he'll ever be the main actor, like in a
Again,
Sandler. Well, I mean, I know he did a few films like Goose Bigelow and The Animal, the Hot Chick, but he never got a studio backing him like they did Sandler or Farley, you know.
Yeah,
And
some of them just don't have it.
Yeah, and I
Well,
think
it's not. It sounds rude and mean, and I don't want to say it that way. But I just say that, like you, for every Sandler and every Farley and every Chevy Chase, and people like that, there's got to be a Dan Aykroyd, or there's got to be a. See, I'm even blanking on his name, not Rob Schneider, but the guy that was with Chris Farley all the time.
David Spade.
David Spade. Although I give David props, he was pretty funny in Deuce Bigelow, but it just there's not you. It's hard for you to get that level of like a Adam Sandler or Chris Farley.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being a Dan Aykroyd. Nothing. I mean, in his time. Now, I'm a big Dan Aykroyd fan. Yeah,
I'm sorry. Calm down, Brandon. Calm down, Brandon.
I'm not ashamed to admit that. Yeah, he may not be as big as like Chevy was, or Eddie, or no one's big as Eddie, but you know what I mean. From that time period, of SNL characters. He may not have been big as the main ones.
Bill.
Bill Murray, yeah. And, what's the other guy's name? The Blues Brothers, Belushi.
Oh, John,
Yeah,
Jim,
yeah,
John.
John, John Belushi. He wasn't as big as him, but they gelled together, especially as the Blues Brothers. But Dan had his movies too, where I remember one he did with Gene Hackman. The funniest I've ever seen him.
Dirty Rotten Scamp? No, that's not him.
No,
That's Steve Martin.
I forget the name of it, but it was he had multiple personalities throughout the movie. And when he was a NASCAR driver, it was hilarious. I mean, it just was. Like Dan will always be one of my favorite comedians of that era and probably of all time. I think it's very underrated.
I think that some of these guys, though, I think that they do well. They do better when playing off of that other person, and they gel together. Like Dan Aykroyd being in Ghostbusters works well with Bill, works well with Earl Ramis, works well with Ernie Hudson. I hope I'm not leaving out a Ghostbuster, but because God forgive if I do, but
I mean, when you talk about Ghostbusters,
they worked well together. Yeah,
when you talk about Ghostbusters, though, man, that was a whole team effort. Everybody involved. It wasn't just Bill. It wasn't just Dan or Ernie or Harold or Sigourney. I mean, you had little Rick Moranis in there too.
Rick Moranis.
And he was still in scenes too. I mean, it was a whole team effort. And that's what comedy is. It's a team effort. Yeah. And that's why I love seeing Adam, get back to him, bring in all of his, not just SNL buddies, but people he's met throughout the years that he knows is funny, bringing them together. And, a lot of people may not like it, the film itself, but you can see these guys having a great time together. And I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing them having a ball together. And, the movie may not be the greatest. I'm not saying it's a classic Sandler film because it's not, but I have fun watching it.
It's better. It's better than Inglorious 6 or whatever. It's better than that,
Yeah, it is.
And it's much better than anything that the Wayans brothers has ever put out. As far as like I'm not saying all right, Scary Movie was great, but I'm saying like the later stuff that Marlon's putting out, like what's it, Six Tuplets, terrible. But I'm saying my point is Hubie Halloween, I think would be. It's not Ernest Scared Stupid. Ernest Scared Stupid is a classic Halloween kids movie that is cool and kids can watch it. This movie, I think, is for a new generation where kids can watch. It doesn't really have monsters or anything that really goes bump in the night, but I think it's tame enough for kids to watch and enjoy. I think it has humor that kids would like, but it's not a Ernest Scared Stupid, or it's not Hocus Pocus, or any other Halloween Town or anything like that. It's not that, but I think that it belongs in the category as those because I think this is for this generation a movie that kids can watch, and it's not too scary or anything like that. You know what I'm saying?
And what I don't love about it, but what I did enjoy a lot about this film is that you can get behind Hubie throughout the whole film. You can get really behind his character. You cheer him on, and you keep cheering him on, even though he is getting made fun of throughout the whole movie. You talk about a guy. What kind of guy? Like, I want to be that guy. And a lot of noise in the background, but I want to be that guy that gets bullied and still fights.
Right.
I love that movie. I really did. I love his character.
Yeah, I did too. I like that. There's a lot going on. We're live, but it's life. But I like that I lost my train of thought. Oh my goodness, this is happening. It's all right.
Not sure what's going on. So,
there's a lot going down right now. So I like that this movie, like even at the end when he was uh, thinking about all the time where they were bullying him, and he
Yeah.
was thinking about just letting that. So people throughout this movie, we hadn't even discussed the movie really. Um, so Hubie Halloween essentially Hubie he likes to go through and uh, keep the people safe from on Halloween. Make sure nobody is
Yeah.
hurt and stuff. I don't know why this is something he loves to do. I thought it was going to be discussed like maybe his dad did it and he's keeping the legacy of what his dad did or something like that. I don't feel like it was ever really discussed why he does it, but other than he just likes to make sure people are safe and he feels like this is his task in
Well,
life.
it's his ancestors or what happened in Salem. His I forget, it was one of his grandmothers that was considered a witch,
Yep.
and you know what happened to her. So that's why he feels obligated to make sure everyone's safe. So
Yeah.
that's what
Okay.
I got from it. I mean, that's what I got from it. That's why he did what he was doing. But you don't really find much out about his dad, though. He just
No.
other than he uh, made fun of him too a little bit.
His
For the
dad
fact
died.
that he,
Well, he said his dad died, right?
yeah, but you don't.
Um,
I don't know. It just didn't feel like he was a really good father, you know. But
well, real quick, let's talk about the thermos in the room. The thermos.
thermos.
Uh, the thermos. So this
Yeah,
thermos, Hubie has this thermos. The first thing I seen him doing is I thought he was drinking something. He was pedaling, drinking it, pouring his soup, drinking the soup or whatever. And I'm like, oh okay. And then like these kids was throwing eggs, and he caught the eggs, and he
yeah.
said thanks for lunch, and he shook it up, and he made a Rocky reference. Um, I was like, wait, there's eggs, there's like shells, and I didn't get it at first, but then like once he started doing other stuff, and it just got more and more outlandish. The stuff that he does with his thermos, like it has a light on it. It has a Batman grappling hook on it. It has. They have a flame. No, somebody else just had a flamethrower, but it has. It doesn't have a compass.
Does
It does
not have
not
a
have.
compass. I mean, imagine if it did.
Oh man.
Hubie goes treasure hunting with the Goonies type style movie. I mean, I'd be down for it, but but yeah, it doesn't have a compass. Oh, the thermos. Oh, it man, it's a character on its own. It just is, and it's over the
It is.
top
It is Doctor
every
Strange's.
level.
It's like Doctor Strange's cape. It's the
Yeah,
character.
it's a character. It's over the top on every level you can think of. But you know what? I kind of dug it. As outlandish
I
as
was.
it
I was.
is,
I was
I
curious to see
dug it.
what else it does.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know what else it can do too. I mean, how does it? How does he fit it all in? I mean, I gotta know this. That's the question you have to know after watching Hubie Halloween.
Right. Hey, I'm not your mom. I am not a mother. Okay. She's coming back. She's coming back. Uh,
We are living Hubie Halloween at Aaron's house.
oh yeah, we are. But yeah, so I thought the thermos was cool. So Hubie is being all right. So at the beginning we set up that Hartman, which I thought he named after Phil Hartman. Um, I thought so. He died. He escaped from the mental institution, a la Alan Lee Ward paintball. For those watching, uh, but so he escapes from the institution, and I thought that every time they showed him in the shadows and stuff, I thought that was really cool. And he had like the pig head on and stuff. Uh, and so you have this guy that escaped, and so all of a sudden, every time someone is making fun of Hubie, someone snatches them. First, you're thinking, "Oh man, it's just people are out snatching somebody or hunting Hubie." But you kind of find out. that no, it's not Hartman. He's actually there to rescue Mr. Walt,
Yeah.
uh, and he's actually escaped mental patient who thinks he's a werewolf. And also, Hartman likes to pee on things, so that's his thing. That's why he's
Yes,
in.
he likes them. He does
And
like to urinate a lot. It's just a disgusting habit he has, urinating in people's lawns.
and on other stuff, but he, but you're gonna find out he is not the one snatching people. It was actually Hubie's mother who seemed like a sweet little lady, and that was a good twist for me. I didn't see it coming.
I did.
Uh,
Beth thought it was going to be the love interest, and I said it's going to be the mom. And this is why they should have got Kathy Bates. She could have went all misery on these people.
that would have been great.
It would have been. I was like, man, missed opportunity there. But the mother was good. The actress that played the mom was good. I got that vibe of Bobby Boucher and his mom in Waterboy with them. But I just wanted Kathy Bates to be the mom so bad.
Yeah. I thought that it was a cool little twist for me that she was the one that was, and then that even after he saves their life, like that moment, like he thought about all the things that they did to him, and he was really, really thinking about letting the fire burn them, right?
Yeah.
But at the last second, he sees Violet's face and thinks about the nice things that she says to him and how he didn't want to disappoint her. And so he saves the day with his trusty thermos. And the mom gets away, and the mom's still out there. No one knows where she's at. No one will ever tease him again because the mother will show up. You never know. But yeah, I like that. I like that aspect of it. I just one thing. I don't think it's believable that Hubie would go to what qualifies him to be the mayor of Salem. Like, there's more to being the mayor than Halloween, man. There's like more to it. It's a bigger job than that. So what qualifies this man to be the mayor?
Wouldn't you agree that he would make a better mayor than the mayor they had?
I agree. I mean, nobody wants to Jaws like mayor. So yeah.
Well, I think what qualifies him, he's going to do whatever is in the best interest of the town and the people, And I mean, it might not mean much to a lot of people. He's not going to play politics. He's going to do what's right. And I think that's for a fictional town. Well, it's not a fictional town, but
it's a real town, Brandon.
I know, but for the movie itself, it's fictional. It all makes sense why he would be the mayor. In reality,
fictional characters.
Fictional characters. Well, I mean, you never know. There may be a guy like Hubie out there, that's getting picked on every day and
riding bicycles.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, actually, what about this thing?
Okay.
What about this thing, real quick? The escalation of things being thrown at him and him dodging. It started off like eggs and things like that. Every time it gets a little bit more crazier things being thrown at him, like poop. And then one point, like literally a television or something like that, or and then at one point a flaming arrow went towards his head. What do you think about this?
I think this was just an attempt to throw everything in the kitchen sink at him, so to speak. It was over the top. It was meant to be over the top. There's no explanation I can give you, Aaron, why they did this. They did it just. They did it because
Adam said, "Let's do this."
I'd say they did it because Adam thought it'd be funny. That'd be my reasoning for. It wasn't necessary though. It kind of was taking me out of the movie at that point when they were just throwing everything at him. Like, I think as an audience watching this movie, they'll probably be like, "Okay, we get it." he he's not liked. He's picked on. People throwing things at him. We get it. They did it a little bit too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Um, I think that they. I'm trying to. You stop talking while I was doing something. I
I'll
wish
talk.
you didn't. But anyway, so yeah, this movie. Uh, what's the biggest gripe you have about this movie?
The biggest gripe. You know, I would have to say, honestly, the mother. And that's nitpicking for me, but I just have to. I got a little annoyed. Not, I don't think I got as much annoyed as you did with the t-shirts, but her character overall, I just, again, if they would have cast Kathy Bates, I think it would have went much smoother with her character. I think her character would have been more memorable. But for me, it is the mother. But I get why she was doing what she was doing, protecting her son.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was some, excuse me. There was something about her that I just felt off. I don't know.
Because it's not Kathy Bates. That's why.
It's
I
not.
mean, if you can get Kathy Bates, you get Kathy Bates. But yeah, I mean, my biggest gripe of the movie is I felt like I felt like the constant jokes of the boner jokes. I thought it was getting a little old. Well, no, I'll say it'd be his over the top fear, you know, of
Yeah.
things. I thought that was a little stale. You got a little stale for me. Um, but we're ready to go ahead and go for the scores, unless there's something else you want to mention.
Well, I just wanted to say this. I did enjoy Adam's performance in this movie. There were times where I couldn't understand what he was saying. Like, but that's part of the character. It reminded me of the character from the movie he did with Adam Sandler, where he was the father. Sometimes you really couldn't I don't know if that was commode or what.
That was the thunder.
Oh, it's thunder. Okay, yeah, it's thunder in here too. But yeah, I couldn't understand everything he was saying, but I felt for his character, and I loved his performance. It reminded me a little bit of the Waterboy meets Little Nicky, if
Yeah,
that makes any sense at all.
makes perfect
But
sense.
that was be my final thoughts on him as a character in the movie.
Yeah.
I believe he was a real person, unlike Kevin James.
Uh, my my final thoughts on the movie is well, we go. I'm going to give it when I give my scores. So first, I'm going to let you give your score, Brandon.
I'm a 3.5. I had fun with it.
All right, 3.5 out of 5 on the markout meter, and I'm going to give it a 3 markouts out of 5 on the markout meter. My score is I had fun with it as well. There were some things that annoyed me a little bit, but overall, I didn't think it was a bad movie. I thought it was an entertaining movie, and it's always good to see. It's like seeing Adam Sandler is like seeing an old friend. So that's my thoughts on that. But all right, so that's gonna wrap it up. Before we wrap, I was gonna tell you next week we're gonna be doing Train to Busan. This is a Korean horror film. Came out several years ago. It is one of the, in my opinion, Brandon hasn't seen it yet. So,
I have not seen it. I've never seen a Korean horror film in my life. So
oh,
this will be a
I'm
first.
getting them. But this is one of the best Korean horror films, and it's gonna start Brandon watching them. So, and I have some stuff to show you, my friend. But yeah, that's what's coming up next week, and in the meantime, and in between time, Aaron Whitlow,
Brandon Spivey.
and we are the Markout Movie Podcasters. Thank you for marking out with us.